Hi, my name is Matthew O'Brien. I've been with AccessPay now for 5 years, working in the sales team, and I look after the construction industry. So some of the customers we've worked with across the industry range from your large tier 1 contractors right down to your small local SMEs. Some of the typical challenges when it comes to payments was pretty much that they were disparate. So some processes would involve maybe payroll being separate on maybe one back software. Perhaps subcontractor payments would be via another software, or even more common, they'd be via a banking portal, and this would be a manual process. So not only fast payment chaps and international tend to be kind of high value payments, if there's quite a lot of them as well, it's quite time consuming. So from a time consuming perspective, it's quite slow for the staff, but equally there's a risk and window of opportunity for fraud and errors to take place. So yeah, they're the kind of typical challenges we see within the industry. So AccessPay, we help to basically centralise all that process and manage it in one system. So rather than have disparate systems, different banking portals, different solution providers, you can do everything via AccessPay via one platform. This obviously helps free up staff time, it mitigates that risk, but it also provides full control and audit perspective for treasury and finance stakeholders. I think the construction industry typically has been slow to adapt to modernisation and to kind of digitalisation, but that is now beginning to kind of increase with people moving towards the cloud and to kind of look at transformation projects. And since I've been at AccessPay, one thing that has sparked that and kind of been a catalyst for it is the pandemic. Obviously a lot of workforces are now working remotely or working kind of in different areas of the businesses and not necessarily in the one same office. So from an agile working perspective, from a disaster recovery perspective, and even from an efficiency gains perspective, a lot more clients are now going through ERP upgrades, a lot more going through finance transformation projects, and a lot more just looking at how they can be more productive, and whether that's the finance teams and the treasury teams, but right the way down to the diggers and those on the grounds when they're completing their project management, etc. Yeah, I think the industry has been quite heavily targeted from a cyber attack perspective. There's been evidence to suggest that it's kind of one of the top industries that's been kind of targeted, and I think the reason for that is particularly that it has been slow to adopt this tech. So either that they're not got the right process in place in terms of maybe security or processes, or they've got on-premise solutions, or they're actually going through that change, and so fraudsters and kind of cyber attackers are looking at that as maybe a loophole to try and get them whilst they're in the process of moving to the cloud, or going through a kind of finance change or tech change process. Yeah, so I think one of the things that we help with obviously is that managing that control and the security aspect. So if I revert back to the kind of challenges that they have, a lot of the teams will be making payments manually via a bank portal. This is obviously, like I said, a window for fraud, and whether that's internal or external. So we help to automate the file from the ERP or their back office systems, and once it's in AccessPay, nobody can amend that or manipulate that data, and there's a full control and audit. Like I said, Wilmot Dixon did this. They were quite conscious that they were keying things in manually on a bank portal, and so they wanted to kind of minimise that risk and get control over it. If someone's watching this and they are going through maybe an ERP upgrade, or they're going through finance transformation change like a lot of clients are, head over to our construction page, which is on the link below, and I'm happy to have a chat and run through where we might be able to help.